the first standards for constructing a building that an architect will evaluate is something called lot coverage. Lot coverage is a term simply describing a determination of how big the footprint of the building will be. When it comes to your personal success as Christians, employees, spouses, parents, whatever the endeavor, the only person that can truly determine the measure and impact of your influence is you. How big a footprint you leave can certainly be enhanced by many others, but it really boils down to you and how much you're willing to invest in yourself. Therefore, the importance of personal development simply cannot be overstated. American essayist and poet Henry David Thoreau puts a magnifying glass on this very subject when he says, "You cannot dream yourself into a character, you must hammer and forge yourself into one." A couple of days ago, we addressed the fact that we can often be our own worst enemy. However, we can also become our own greatest architect. We bear the responsibility of establishing the footprint. Investing in your own personal development, it is the secret to separating yourself from the pack. One writer said, personal development is the bridge that carries you toward the goals you have to reach. The developer of great leaders, John Maxwell, said it like this: growth is the great separator between those who succeed and those who do not. When I see a person beginning to separate themselves from the pack, it's almost always due to personal growth. To be clear, self-investment is not to be mistaken for selfishness or arrogance. It's not to be mistaken for independence void of needing God. Indeed, unless the Lord builds the house, the labor is in vain. The point is, we're the one ultimately responsible to apply and invest every gift and talent from God and every positive external influence into developing ourselves. If we don't do it, no one else can or will do it for us. We are often guilty of investing in things that can numb us to the reality of how short life is. Frivolous and unimportant things. Entertainment, for instance, though not wrong in and of itself, inevitably steals from us time that can be dedicated for personal development. Too many people spend countless hours in front of screens, televisions, computers, phones, iPads, merely entertaining themselves, when they could be setting aside time to invest in their own growth. So it's important to ask ourselves, am I setting aside time for personal development, time for learning and growing? Am I being intentional as the architect of my life in establishing my footprint? Novelist Norman Mailer said it quite accurately when he said, every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. The legendary football coach Lou Holtz said it like this: in this world, you're either growing or you're dying, so get in motion and grow. Indeed, this is in part what the Apostle Peter is telling us in 2 Peter 1 and 5 when he says, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness. You have to put the work in to add, to build, to grow, and you have to be intentional about it. Jesus said, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in or steal. Matthew 6 and 20. The words of Jesus cannot be any clearer. The onus is on each individual to develop themselves, to invest in themselves, to grow themselves. So before we go today, I just want to offer a few practical ways to invest in yourself. Number one, surround yourself with positive things. At the risk of coming off as a self-help guru, seriously, the environment around you matters. Fill the space around you, your office, your home, with meaningful reminders such as photos, posters, books, maybe a collection of mugs, magnets that just remind us of things that maybe time with your family. Second, become a planner. Plan. You can't plan enough. Have a plan that will lead you to your goals and to your dreams. Create long-term goals and do daily things to move toward the completion of those goals. One focused step at a time will get you there. Plan your week ahead of time. Of course, leave some time for spontaneity, but the things that need to be done, plan them out. 3, become an early riser. Create the habit of getting up earlier. Start incrementally, all right, 10 minutes earlier tomorrow than the next day until it becomes a habit. Then another 10 minutes. All right, you can use this as me time, that early time to pray, meditate, get prepared for your day. 4th, turn your car into a university. You can educate yourself with podcasts, YouTube, audio tapes, so forth. Listen to spiritual speakers for inspiration. You can even learn a new language during your commute to and from work. With today's technology, there is simply no excuse not to invest in your personal growth. 5, create an accountability system. All right, create a dream team of others who are pursuing their dreams. Meet regularly, digital meeting, Skype, various things of that nature to share your successes and your problems. Be there for one another, and then celebrate your progress with that peer group. 6, eliminate something negative. Stop a bad habit. If you're always late, commit to being on time. If you eat junk food, add something healthy into your dietary plan. If you have debt, begin saving your change at the end of each day. 7, drop your someday syndrome. Stop talking about what you're going to do and begin determining your footprint now. 8, refuse to complain. Stop complaining for 3 weeks. Make that a goal. No complaining for 3 weeks. When you catch yourself, begin your 3 weeks all over again. The purpose of the exercise isn't to never complain again. You're human, you are going to complain, but the purpose is to become aware of how often you complain and what you complain about. 9, replace your complaints with gratitude. And 10, don't beat yourself up when you slip up. Indeed, I'll leave you with the wisdom of the great American educator, author, and businessman Stephen Covey, who said this: be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There is no greater investment.